Hi, welcome back to the studio, and I've mentioned this before, but it gets cold in here and I'm just going to show you. I have my spotty blanket wrapped around me so that only you and I know I have it on, because it's invisible to most people. I haven't done an upload for a long time, but lots has been happening. So this is a very short one, and I want to introduce you to my book, As Mother Lay Dying, which was published in January of this year. And this has been a total labour of love. It's available on Amazon, and As Mother Lay Dying is a tapestry woven of memories and insights from the bedside. This book is about how I left everything in one afternoon, just like that, when I heard that my mother had 6 weeks left to live. I moved in with her to look after her, and I'd been working as a soul midwife, which is a holistic end-of-life companion offering spiritual and emotional support to people who were facing the end of life. And I arrived at my mother's thinking I knew all about it and what to do. But there is a huge difference when you arrive to support somebody who's dying that you love so much, and who knows you better than you know yourself, and met you long before you met her. And I found that I was out of my depth. And yet we spent 6 weeks, myself and the family, coming and going. And my mother did die. The book is written in 3 different parts. Part 1 is the dying, where I explain what it's like to sit for all those hours and hours in the day, in the night, of somebody who is just folding up and following the end of their life and the journey out and away. And I talk about how it looks, what I'm thinking and feeling, what I think my mother is thinking and feeling, and what is said and what is not said. And it is important, I think, to say that often not much is said, but there may still be resolutions. I fought with my mother all my life. And this last 6 weeks was miraculous for both of us. Miraculous doesn't mean it was easy, it just was magnificent. The second part of the book is called The Bereavement, where I talk about how I feel now my mother has gone, and how I wonder whether I am either feeling grief or just bereavement, and is there a difference? And the part 3 is the recovery, where I talk about how grief affects different people in different ways. And I tell stories in this part from the work I've done in the community supporting loss and grief over the last 10 years. It's extraordinary how grief does not follow a pattern, and how we think that we will address it from here, and we want to know how to deal with it, but actually we experience it and it happens from here, and it takes us over, and it does its own thing, and we have to follow on from here, and we're not used to it, so it's difficult. I also weave into this story, because there's so much time sitting for those 6 weeks and watching my mother move on and out. I weave into the story the memories of all the people gone before her, like all her family, her mother, her father, her brothers, her sister, her beloved aunts, and all the stories of their livings and dyings weave around Mama, because it's her turn to go now. And then I can't help but remember and re-experience the deaths that I have experienced, the people who have died that I have loved. And while writing the book, I lost more people. And when you read it, you'll see how all these losses, all these experiences, all these lives, all these histories are woven into the story of sitting and watching with my mother as she begins to die. So I would love for you to go and buy the book. There is, I'll put a link below about where you can buy it. It's $7.99 on Amazon for a paperback and $4.99 for Kindle. There is also a video which I made during my mother's dying on YouTube, which I will link to as well, because the two go together, this book about the dying and the video about the dying. And in the video you do see her dead, so be prepared for that, but it is very beautiful, very respectful. My mother knew I was writing this book. There is one part in the book where I sit and I say to her, "Mama, do you mind all this writing?" And she smiles and shakes her head and she goes, "No, tap, tap, tap is fine." So, love to you. Please go and buy the book. Leave a review on Amazon. Contact me if you would like to, because there is much in this book about our universal experiences of living and dying and grieving and recovering. So thank you. God bless. Bye.